Hey everyone, welcome to today's gratitude and affirmation practice. Thank you so much for being here. We have number one gratitude. We're doing something a little different. It's just an off week this week. So, got myself some Starbucks. Oh my God. It's so chocolatey. This is the first Starbucks I've had in probably 3 to 4 months. It's pretty good. So that's my first gratitude. Second gratitude, I've already gone to the store, got 2 additional large bins, which I'm grateful I did that because I kept asking myself, do I have enough bins? I think I do for packing everything up. And then I realized I have so much packing materials for my business. That alone could probably be 2 bins. So here we are. And one of those bins is probably going to be big enough to fit the big pillows, the back pillows on the couch. Number 3, tomorrow is the day that I can start moving stuff into my storage unit. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because the house is just, there's stuff everywhere. And I am having a hard time conceptualizing stuff that I need to take with me and stuff that I need to put in storage. So I would love to just get some stuff that I'm going to be storing out of the house and just condense it down and then realize, okay, these are the things I need to take with me. So that's 3. 4, I have riding today. I am so looking forward to riding, even though it is freezing cold out. Maybe I'll do double pants today. I might do double pants today. Yeah, it's so cold. I woke up and there was kind of a layer of snow on the ground. It was very pretty. Where are we at? 4 or 5? I think that was 5, but we'll do 5 again. Grateful for my dad, for his willingness to help me with my car and getting the transmission fluid drained. So I'm doing that today. Number 6. Oh, I don't think I told you guys in the video yesterday. I ended up going to the store, which reminds me, I might go. Home Depot is like right where I am. But I might go to the store. Let me finish my first statement. I need to get better about that. I've been practicing. But I went to Home Depot and Lowe's over the weekends because I have 2 strings of Christmas lights that I loved having up in the living room. And they just, this nice warm glow. But some of the bulbs were burnt out or just ended up getting crushed. So I went there and I decided to just buy another box of lights. So I have 100 lights for $8. And now that string of lights will be just replacement bulbs I can pull out and stick in the other string of lights. I thought it was pretty smart. And instead of paying like $3 for a couple of bulbs, I paid $8 for 100 spare bulbs. So that was a win yesterday. And I fixed the lights and put one in the storage bin. Another might be coming with me. Okay. 6. I think we're already on 6, but we'll just do 6 again. I am so incredibly grateful for my strength, for my willingness to look at, I don't even want to say the positive side of things, but to look at my own growth and choose to continue growing. I have to say, guys, my reality right now, if you guys have been with me for a long time, you might have noticed a shift. It's been really hard for me to be positive and just engaged. So I am working on that because I don't think it's fair to you guys. And I do enjoy sharing my life with you guys. But it's really hard when you're going through something that just completely flipped your world upside down and, you're trying to navigate it. And I'm very proud of myself for making it through to this point and just my willingness to see the future in a different way and my own growth and accept the situation and the lessons that I'm learning, and also decide never again. Like, oh my God, these past couple of months have been wild. So I'm very, very proud of myself and for choosing growth. Number 7. Grateful I still have time to do some shopping. So purchased a couple of things yesterday. Remember, guys, like, you can still treat yourself or work towards the person that you want to become when you're going through difficult things. And part of it, I would say, is to try and make myself feel better. But the other part of it is I feel like I'm becoming a new person. And this new person likes different things. She likes getting dressed up. She likes taking care of herself. She likes makeup and just being feminine, being girly, I guess you could say. So I bought a couple of things yesterday, and, looking back, I'm really excited for them to get here. I also got some more, like, I've been wanting to try this for a really long time, years actually, and I haven't had the chance, or I didn't buy it until yesterday. But it's this lip stain, and it goes on blue, and then you like wipe it off, and it's just supposed to stain your lips these really pretty colors. And so I got a couple of those, and I'm really excited to try them. I looked through quite a few videos yesterday, so that's one of the things I got. I'm excited for them to get here. Got myself some clothing. I still need to get myself jeans, but I don't know if I'm gonna wait on that or not. I have a lot of travel stuff I feel like I need to get. I also just accepted these are just gonna be a couple of months where I have a lot of purchases, but after that, it'll be, my life is gonna look different. So going back to the gratitude, I'm grateful I have time because I have not even started in looking into laptops. But my friend John reminded me Cyber Monday is a thing. So I'm going to probably purchase something for Cyber Monday. And we'll see. A lot of places have deals going on even through oh my gosh, we're not even in November anymore. It's the 1st of December. How crazy is that? That's my 7. Number 8. I wanted to do 2 for this. So I got this, but then I also got myself a piece of pumpkin bread. And we're going to spend some time. I'm grateful. I'm going to spend some time writing or something really important. I'm just going to write a couple of, we're going to call them dating rules, but also just like life rules. Like, what areas do I need to put up boundaries in order to lead a more healthy life and also protect myself? And when I say protect myself, boundaries are not meant to keep things out, really. It's just supposed to put a defining line that if it gets crossed, that you can take action for yourself. And therefore, you are developing a sense of safety within yourself, so that way you can be your full self with other people. So that's something I'm probably going to do after this. Take a little bit of time, do that, go home, get breakfast. And then I think I have to head out to my dad's to do my car. I want to give myself ample time for that because I have writing right after. And then what are we on? 8 or 9? I guess 8. So I said this to my friend yesterday, and I really do mean it. And I'm grateful for this mentality as well. So I told my friend, I was like, I'm just going to get hotter the more life goes on. I'm in my glow up era for the rest of my life. And he just laughed. And I was like, I'm serious. And he goes, I know you are. Like, I've known this guy since middle school. So it was, that's number 9. I'm very grateful that we got to hang out. He ended up making stir fry, which was really good. And we just watched a movie. He lives over an hour away, so I was over there for a couple of hours, but then I could tell I was fading. I was getting tired, and I was like, okay, I gotta drive home now. So it was a really good time catching up. And when people know you for that long, it's different, because when they tell you something, it just hits differently. It's like they know exactly what you need to hear. And just him affirming things about me that, I sometimes forget about myself. Saying like, you've worked for everything you've had. You're just a warrior woman. Like you've been through so much in life, and you just keep persevering. And it was something I really needed to hear in that moment, to just appreciate myself and recognize that, like, I've literally made it through. Guys, you've made it through every single thing in your life. What's to say you're not going to make it through what you're in right now, no matter like how difficult it seems? But I'm truly grateful for my friends. I can't tell you how many times, like, man, John, so my friend Sam, he knows John as well. And so he was, we were talking about just life and stuff, and I made a joke. I was like, yeah, John's seen and heard his fair share of me just like crying on the phone to him. And he's like, oh, I bet. And in that moment, like, I just truly appreciated the friends that I have, where I have somebody that I can go to, and he's going to give it to me straight every time. Like, there's space to feel my emotions, but there's also space to continue to grow and breathe and just logically and intellectually talk to somebody about this, and just expanding my own perception of, as well, of just being neutral. I'm going to get through this. And I'm going to come out way better than I ever have. I can feel it. Sometimes, guys, in your life, there are lows. And this week has been a low of the lows. But, what is meant for me is going to find me. And I don't have to do anything different than what I'm doing now. And I just have to remind myself of that. That's something I'm grateful for. I don't have to, everything that I've been doing for myself, or buying for myself, or doing to cope through this situation I find myself in, I don't need any of that to truly attract what is for me. I'm enough the way that I am. And how relieving, and just how good does that feel? And that's not just for me, that's for every one of you. You do not have to do anything differently to attract what is for you. And it takes a lot of the pressure off. And see, that's also why I know the things I'm doing for myself, with getting myself nice things and doing something each day to remind myself of like who I am and what I'm worth. That is the person I am at heart, because I know as well that I don't need those things in order to get into another relationship, to pursue my dreams, to have my dreams come into my reality. I think what I'm learning right now is detachment, and giving up the person that I've been in my life up to this point in order to actually bring forth what I deeply desire. And I've been working on that this week of just like letting go and feeling all of my emotions and willingly choosing to let this version of me that I've known my entire life die, to be rebirthed into something brand new. Because the thing about life, I feel like I'm getting into the message of the day, so maybe let's just talk a little bit, because that's kind of where I'm at today. The thing about life is you attract everything in your life that is meant for you to help heal and work through anything that you want to work through within this current version of you. And I have to be honest with you guys, a lot of my life, man, I'm getting emotional. There's been a lot of neglect, at times I would say abuse in my life, devaluing, disrespect, unworthiness. There's been all these themes in my life. And the thing, and what I really want you guys to hear is, you have a piece in everything that happens to you. So what do you need to work on and grow and cultivate so that way the situations that find you that are unhealthy never find you again? Or the thing is, they might still find you because that's life, right? But you don't step into those situations again. And even, I feel very strongly about this, like even situations where it's like it came out of nowhere and someone did something to you, what about you still had something for that situation to attach to? Let me give you an example for a situation where you're like, I couldn't have predicted this, like I did nothing, I was just minding my own business. Someone who gets pickpocketed, and maybe even, let's take it a step further, gets like assaulted or like injured and has something taken from them, right? People don't go around and say, pick me, I want to be pickpocketed. But the thing about it is, there is something energetically that is a match for that situation. Because people don't just get chosen at random. They don't go, oh, that 6'4" bodybuilder, I'm going to pickpocket him. No, they're probably going to go for the person that looks like an easy pick. So what is it about you? Because there's always something, right? Like, we are the co-creators of our reality. There's always something that's going to attach to those situations. So what is it that you still have control over to work on for your growth in order for that not to occur? You know, obviously I'm a woman. Like, giving another example, how do women get picked for unfortunate things to happen when they're out in environments? A lot of times it's body posture. Like, are you walking with your head high? Do you look like you know where you're going? Do you know where not to go? And are you trusting your gut when you're in those areas where something just feels off? Are you intuitively aware? You know, because the girl who walks unaware, like, is giving off that air of like unworthiness or lack or lack of confidence, they're probably going to be a target more likely than someone who is aware of the is showing signs that they're aware of their surroundings. And I know that those are extreme examples, but I just wanted to show you guys, using an example that most people would say, I did nothing in that, to showcase that, like, hey, you always have a part, and there's always something that you can control, accept, acknowledge, take on. So in the situation I find myself in today, I would say also that we get over things in the amount of time we want to get over them. The first time I kind of heard about this, or heard someone confirm a thought that I had on this, was Layla Hormozi was talking about when she went to a therapist and she was going through a breakup, and the therapist said, and she was talking about how I guess she was maybe having trouble getting over this person. And the therapist said to her, well, it's going to take however long you want it to take. And Layla was like, what? Excuse me? And she was like, if you want it to take until tomorrow when you're over that person, then it'll take until tomorrow. If you want it to take years, it's going to take years, right? Your perception is your reality. And I've found it to be true in some moments of my life, just thinking about other relationships. There were distinct moments where I said, I don't want to feel these feelings anymore. I'm okay. I'm done. I'm over it. And I still remember that day where one of the most important relationships at that point in my life, it was my first love, my feelings, boop, gone. And I was like, wow, what a relief. Like, it had run its course, and that's okay. But in this particular circumstance, this was a really long time in my life. 8 years is a long time. But again, just trying to employ those tactics. Like, there's a lot of emotions that I'm going through. I think it's also healthy to recognize that at some points, it's okay just to want to feel angry or hurt or sad or anxious, and let those feelings have a moment. But when those feelings, after you've kind of come back to a state of evenness, then the choice becomes, what do you do with yourself? And part of what I'm starting to take on today is taking full accountability for myself. Because the thing is, things happened to me, but I'm accountable for me and the entirety of my life. And like present day, like what is going on in present day. So if I don't like what my present day looks like, guess who has the power and control to change it? Me. And that also includes accepting like what is. So it's something I'm going to continue to work on. And I made a choice today to just fully release and give up the version of me that was perpetuating these storylines. Because the situation that I'm in has been making me feel really like unworthy, a loss of confidence, lack of being desired, like all of these things, right? So now instead of focusing on that situation and what it's making me feel, I can pivot my attention and give that back to myself, which is something I'm learning. That's been a theme over the last year, I would say, is when I really started not looking so much to other people, but looking to myself and knowing that I can fill that cup. And I should fill that cup. And whatever people are giving you is just excess. It should not fill a gap or a wound or an empty space in yourself. And I think just continuing to affirm my own worthiness and you know what I deserve, and recognizing that like the bar has been raised and like now I'm being asked to uphold that bar. And sometimes that's harder than the situation that you're going through. So another thing that I think I'm going to start doing, I've thought about this for a long time. And by a long time, I probably mean like 5-6 months, but I haven't done this yet. I think I'm going to start writing my best story. I think I need to maybe morning and night write a quick thing about what is Becca, who is living her dream life, like what does that look like? What is she doing? What is she feeling? I started kind of doing that yesterday, but I think it's something that is going to be really healthy for me to do today. The other thing, guys, and I'm going to try and stop saying I'm in a difficult situation. I think I've just been really overwhelmed lately by trying to process so much, you know, like, and there are things going on that I will not talk about on here that's directly impacting the situation. But I think, where is it going with that? But I think I need to recognize that I'm abandoning myself at this point. And anytime I abandon myself, that's what's perpetuating the cycle of me feeling certain ways. Oh, and so regardless of what's going on in your life, the state in which you should be working towards is neutrality and not letting something that's external impact you. And we're human. This is going to happen, right? But the more that you work on yourself, the more that you understand your own worthiness, understand your own boundaries that define who you are and what that should mean and how you matter, less likely that you're going to find yourself in extreme situations that are messing with your internal state. The fact that my internal peace is so compromised right now is a dead giveaway that like it's gone too far. And your internal space should matter far more than anything happening external to you. So whatever you need to do for yourself, like, remember, you're accountable for you and your life and nothing else. And every person is. So I will say that I'm making the healthiest decisions I can for myself, but I still have a ways to go because there's boundaries that I haven't wanted to set in place because I've kind of looked at it like I'm losing people if I do that. And I need to change that mentality to say, I need to protect myself in order to be my best self for people. And so if someone doesn't like this boundary, like that's really okay. Because I know what's best for me, nobody else. And also there's an element of trust there. Like I'm just learning to trust myself and be loving towards myself and gentle and kind with myself, even through situations where I don't feel good about myself. You know, there's all these, man, I'm just, at number 11, I'm just forever grateful that I have this channel and that I have you guys and that I'm imparting what I'm learning to you, because just me talking about this, I realized how many lessons I've already integrated, and I'm almost there for having it be something that's more in my subconscious versus I'm having to consciously put an effort to. I also believe too, guys, I believe that you always learn in life. Like, you're never done learning. But I do believe there is a point where you stop healing, because we are all already healed. But I think there's a point where you come upon that realization and you feel it internally. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have things in your past come up for you to work through again. But what it does mean is that once you hit that state, you can kind of turn your attention elsewhere. It's more about, I think growth becomes really quick at that point. Because I think there's this perception in life that like you're never done healing, and like you are fully healed, but you're always going to be working through stuff. And I think you get there. If you want to get there, it's like what I was saying earlier with how long does it take you to get over a relationship? As long as you want. Now, does that mean that you aren't going to have to shed some things? Even if you have fully accepted that you are healed? Like, if you said in this moment, I'm fully healed, I know this about myself, and nothing I can do can take away from the fact that I'm already fully healed, you're still going to have to shed things off. And that looks differently for different people. Like, I've seen for myself that I can move massive amounts of energy really quickly, and other times, because of how stuck I get in my own perspective, it takes longer. But I feel like life is always, we're coming back to the essence of ourselves. And once we can physically understand that essence, everything's more just, what experience do you want to have? Let me know if any of this resonates with you guys. I just wanted to do more of an open discussion today, because I've been thinking about a lot. I've been going through a lot. I'm still taking healthy steps for myself. I'm taking stuff off the list. I packed some. I am getting bins, and I'm getting stuff preps to be put in storage. I am taking time for myself. I'm doing a lot of emotional work right now. And still building. And the other thing, guys, if I can do this when I am at one of the most lowest points in my life, next to my childhood, like it almost feels like my whole childhood's kind of come up, and I'm dealing with all these things. And how quick am I gonna move when this is all behind me? It's gonna happen. But thanks for sticking in there with me, guys. I really hope that something I said resonates with you guys, because if I can help and support even just one person with what I've gone through and am going through in my life, that makes it all the more worth it. If I could save someone time or pain, or give them clarity or help them acknowledge their own power, amazing. Like, that's what we're all here to help each other do. But enough of that. All right, so affirmation time. Number 1, as always, I'm divinely guided and supported. I can ask for help whenever I need it. I humbly ask for help today. Hope, support, and love. Number 2, screw my mood, follow the plan. That's been a good quote that I've really enjoyed so far. And that's not saying don't take any time for emotions, but that is saying if you need to, feel your emotions, and then what are you going to do? Keep doing things for yourself. Keep showing up for yourself and proving to yourself that you are worth it. I have to say this because this picture came into my head, so I feel like there's a person out there. Hi, I see you. I know what it's like to be there, where someone's telling you to keep showing up for yourself and just keep going, and you're just sitting there in bed and you're like underneath the overwhelm. Recognize that you're doing work. Emotional work is work. Let me repeat that. Emotional work is work. It's almost like having a second job. I swear to God. So when I say to keep showing up for yourself, keep going, recognize that every moment you are working for yourself. But you can start asking yourself questions like, can I work with myself more gently? Can I talk to myself more softly? Can I do things more at ease and peacefully and in flow? Can I just think about maybe a slight way to do this differently where I feel relief? All of that is work. Do not discount yourself. So whoever you are, I just got this vision of someone watching my video and they're sitting in bed with the phone like this and the blanket around them. It was like a blue-gray blanket. And just feeling discouraged. So like, please don't feel discouraged. Goes back to what I was saying. There's emotional capacity and there's physical capacity, mental capacity. Like, there is emotional capacity. And just maybe that's where you're doing work. It's all valuable. So, I don't even know where I was. That was one of the strongest visions I've gotten in a minute. But anyways, follow the plan. So, screw your mood, follow the plan. 3, be neutral. 4, accept what is and connect with yourself. 5, it's a brand new day, fresh start. 6, I lean deep into peace, nourishment, and healing of self. Number 7, I breathe easily and deeply in the sanctuary of bliss, peace, and protection where I powerfully reside and am supported and surrounded by a loving, nourishing community. 8, I think we're on 8. Well, let's do 7 again. I choose again, and I choose better for myself. I choose what is for me and what is healthy. And I lovingly release with open arms anything that is not for me at this point in my life. Number 8. I have infinite choices and possibilities, and I choose what is most fun, living, nourishing, exciting, fulfilling, and healthy for myself. Number 9. I go with the flow and 10 for the day. Miracles and blessings are a common occurrence and can be seen throughout my day. I love to see them. I have to admit, guys, I have done a complete turnaround since last night. Or even 2 days ago. I'm just taking it a day at a time, you know? When you feel good in those moments, extend that feel good feeling. Oh, one last thing. If you've made it this far, this was interesting. I was on Instagram and I heard this today, and someone said the amount of time that you can feel good is directly correlated to your stress response. So she gave the example, you are on a boat with your friends and you're having fun, and all of a sudden a negative thought pops up, like, oh my God, like the report's due tomorrow. And then like your joy, whatnot is taken away. And she said that moment is directly tied to the pattern that you've experienced that has been interrupting your joy. So if you are used to an anxiety or a situation interrupting your joy at a certain time, or if that was even reaffirmed, then that is what is going to happen. And she said you're going to have to build up your capacity so that way in moments like that you have an excess to dip into, and you can start like extending that time. And I thought that was so wild. I've never thought about that before. But the fact that message came through at like the right time for me, and I started thinking about it, about how my childhood was like just a huge ball of anxiety all the time, and how quickly I could be in a moment, and it was almost like immediately within like a minute or two that my good feeling would just kind of just poof, and I'd be sitting there and I just would feel disassociated from what was going on. And looking at my life now, like there is a extended period of time, but it still happens. So I think that's something I'm going to be conscious of today and going forward, and seeing if I can recognize how quickly that happens so that I could start changing that. Because why the heck would I want to give up my joy? Especially at this point in my life, you know? Life's short. That is all for today, guys. Love you guys. What are you grateful for? What are you affirming? How are you doing? I will answer all of your comments today. It might not be when I get the video put up, just how my day is working, but I promise you I will respond at the end of today. Thanks for sticking in with me. I know I said this last night, but my schedule's kind of all over the place. I'm trying to find my new balance, and I feel like everything just keeps sliding underneath me, and we'll get there, but it's throwing me off. So love you guys. Hopefully this talk was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you learned something new. But that is all for today, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.